What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTP Sports. And boy, howdy, do the Phillies know how to take you on emotional roller coasters this entire season. From basically how dead I felt during the Washington Nationals series. Like, holy fucking shit, these two games against Seattle have been very exciting to watch. Granted, I didn't get to watch. I really wasn't paying attention to yesterday's ball game because I was at Monday Night Raw live. So I was basically just watching the updates from Twitter or the MLB app just occasionally just to see where everything was going. So I really didn't get to experience that offensive outburst in full fruition, basically just watching highlights after it. So that was fantastic. And then today, Christopher Sanchez on the mound, his first start since Zach Wheeler goes down, and we all have the question marks about how Christopher Sanchez, how is he going to be affected by this, where basically he is becoming the de facto ace, and I would say he passed the test. I would definitely say he fucking passed the test because he was absolutely spectacular tonight, and I'm not blaming Rob Thompson for taking Christopher Sanchez out with 96 pitches when he's about to face the fourth time through the order, going back to the top of the lineup again. As soon as he walks the ninth nine-hole guy, Kerkering comes in. Kerkering just fucking sucked. That's bottom line there. Rob Thompson can't do anything about that. But leave Christopher Sanchez in, let him finish the inning. But then you go into hindsight to where if Christopher Sanchez walked two guys in a row, or then just allowed to run the score, you would be fucking yelling at Rob Thompson to, why didn't you take out Christopher Sanchez sooner? Why didn't you take him out when he walked the nine-hole hitter? So, it's, you're kind of, basically at a rock and a hard place right there. So I don't think Rob Thompson deserves any blame for that. Not Christopher Sanchez, because he was awesome. Ryan Kerkering fucking sucked. He fucking sucked. And I understand he went through a very long stretch of not walking batters, blah, 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 blah. The dude threw 8 straight balls to start his outing and walking two guys in a row. He got lucky with the Julio thing where it was basically a chopper right back to him. Sadly, it wasn't in a double play position. But then you have two outs. You allow to run the score off of a ground out. Get the final out. Nope, he allows a game-tying double down the left field line to Eugenio Suarez. And all of a sudden, the game is tied. Then you have to bring in Matt Strom to finish off the inning with limited damage, and thankfully Matt Strom did do that. Then you bring in David Robertson for the top of the 8th inning. He retires 1, 2, 3 with ease. So David Robertson has actually looked pretty decent so far. And some people are already saying, oh my God, his stuff at 40 plus years old already looks better than any of his previous tenure with the Phillies. So I'm not going to go that far yet, but David Robertson hasn't been a terrible experience so far, to say the least. He's had some very scares, but he has been terrible, to say the least. And then you got Duran in the 9th inning, almost fucking killing Randy Arozarena, almost 103 at his fucking head. I'm sure he saw his life flash before his eyes. The dude was sitting in the batter's box like a little butt on the batter's box, had to duck for his fucking life because 100% that pitch would have killed him if it made contact with his head. The dude probably had to contemplate his life right after that. He probably had to contemplate his career after that. Like, holy fucking shit, that is terrifying. My God, dude throwing 103, it's coming through your head, and it's coming through your head. But back to Orion Kerkering. Thank God for JT Realmuto and his resurgence in the second half of this season, because JT Realmuto has been awesome. Bryce Harper starts the bottom of the 8th inning with a single the other way, and then JT Realmuto gets the one pitch that he likes, first pitch, inside corner of the plate, and absolutely demolishes the baseball out of the ballpark. Two-run shot to give the Phillies a 6-4 lead. And he also had a moonshot in yesterday's ball game, too, where Randy Arozarena in left field didn't even fucking flinch. Didn't even fucking flinch. They did the same thing today. They didn't even fucking flinch in the outfield because that's how hard the ball was crushed. So, good on fucking JT Realmuto, man. Like, this dude offensively has been so much. I thought he was dead offensively. I thought he was washed offensively. And he's been very good offensively basically since June. And he's batting above 300 since June. And now the power, even though it's not really consistent with JT, but the power the past few weeks has been more consistent with him. And JT Realmuto has really just turned his entire season around for how we fought in the first 2 months with how bad he was. We just thought, okay, you're at the stage of your career. You've been playing catcher you're having so many years behind the plate being a catcher, you're just going to inevitably go through the wear and tear as you're getting older, as you're playing so many games behind there, that your offensive production is just going to eventually wind down. Not apparently not, because fucking JT Realmuto has been on a fucking tear this in second half. He's been awesome. He has been awesome. So, good on him. Good on him. And yes, the Phillies have been playing with a little bit of fire under themselves since Zach Wheeler, with the whole thing, and also the good update on Zach Wheeler. They did remove the blood clot, so that is a very good thing right there as well. So we're just going to have to wait and see how that thing goes. It was announced before yesterday's ball game that they did have a procedure to remove the blood clot, so that's very good. That's very good. Still, I don't think the right thing for him is to pitch the rest of this season. I still just think the right thing for him is just to focus on his health and be there for his family and his kids. So right now, we're just going to have to play it day by day with Zach Wheeler just to see where this thing goes. If he does find a way to come back this year, that is just a great story, and hopefully he could come back to his full abilities. But I still think the best thing for Zach Wheeler is to not pitch the rest of the season, just because even though they did remove the blood clot, it's still just a very just a weird situation on how you got to go through the treatment process, because we just don't know if he's going to be in game shape. So it's great that they got the blood clot out. Fantastic. Happy for the guy. Hopefully this next stage of the recovery process goes very well. But I just cannot guarantee, I cannot say to myself that I want to see Zach Wheeler on the mound the rest of the season, just because just from the human level, I want the guy to be healthy. I want the guy to be healthy. So, right now that's not my main priority, is to see Zach Wheeler pitch the rest of the season. Christopher Sanchez, though, he definitely took the mantle the day of Ace, because he was very good. It sucks that he got the no decision because of fucking Orion Kerkering, but he was great. He was great. 12 strikeouts, 6 in the third innings. He was fantastic. Fucking fantastic. 6 in the third innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 12 strikeouts. Flat out fantastic. We're also going to go over yesterday's ball game as well, just because I did miss that as well for the recap purposes. Ranger Suarez was also good. His earned runs got a little bit inflated because of fucking Jordan Romano. And for some reason, this guy is still on the team. And Rob Thompson has to go out there and defend Jordan Romano because Dave Dombrowski does not want to DFA the fucking guy for some reason. So Rob Thompson basically has to be the sitting duck, or just the ugly duckling there, or he's just got to be the fall guy to defend Jordan Romano. And I'm sure Rob Thompson doesn't want to put fucking Jordan Romano under the bus, because that's not what Rob Thompson is. But I think Rob would understand at this point that probably can't use Jordan Romano that much. Probably shouldn't, because he really just can't pitch in any situation at this point. He is done. You should not be seeing lately. It's crazy. It is crazy. It is crazy. So yeah, offense was more clutch today. Yesterday they were just hitting in cylinders all over the place. They had 21 fucking hits in yesterday's ball game, which is unheard of from this team. Unheard of, and nothing that I've ever seen in my fucking life. Of course, I missed that game, because I was at Monday Night Raw, which was also very electric to watch in person. It was just crazy. Trey Turner had his first home run at Citizens Bank Park this year last night, which of course I missed that as well. Bryce Harper hit a couple of nukes, and those balls were absolutely crushed. JT, like I mentioned, he also had a home run in yesterday's ball game as well. So it was just going around all over the place. Kyle Schwarber hit another home run in today's ball game. So I believe they said that's like 15 straight series with Kyle Schwarber hitting a home run in a series. So that's just picturesque Kyle Schwarber right there. So that is also very fun. So yeah, overall, I would say these two games have been more fun than not. The frustrating part was Kerkering obviously tonight, and then Jordan Romano yesterday. That's basically the point right there. Basically the point. So if we go to yesterday's ball game, Ranger Suarez 6 2/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 10 strikeouts. He was very good, obviously. The 2 earned runs, obviously, because of Jordan Romano. Then you actually saw the fucking reaction from Ranger in the dugout. He was probably very pissed that Romano allowed the Mariners to come back into the game. Thankfully, the offense was just clicking on all cylinders last night. But just overall, like, they got a couple of hits in the bottom of the first inning, but they weren't able to score. It really started in the bottom of the second inning, where they just blew the game open. Marsh with a leadoff single, same thing with Castellanos. So you have first and third for Max Kepler. He gets an RBI hit to make it 1-0. Stott with a double that scores Castellanos, makes it 2-0. Then Trey Turner in a full count. gets a hanging slider over the middle of the plate, and he hits a home run over the left field fence, and he breathes that sight like literally just a monkey coming off of his shoulder as he's rounding first base. You could see the reaction from Trey Turner as he's rounding the base paths that he finally got that off his back. So thank God he was actually I think a triple away from the cycle last night. So Turner's bat basically since the start of the National Series has actually been pretty good. So it looks like he is starting to heat up again. So it's 5-0 Phillies. Then JT Realmuto with 2 outs hits that solo shot to make it 6-0. Then the offense, the Mariners, Bryce Harper made it 7-0 in the bottom of the 6th inning, but then Ranger Suarez, he allows the home run to Garver with 2 outs to make it a 7-1 ball game. Then he hits Canzone with the pitch. Then Romano comes in, allows Crawford the single with 2 outs. Then Young hits the 3-run shot to make it 7-4. That's the second run charge to Ranger Suarez. But then the Phillies do respond in that bottom of the 7th inning. Kepler with a single. He advances to second on a wild pitch. Trey Turner with a 2-out double that scores Kepler. Schwarber with a single that scores Turner. And then Bryce Harper hits another home run, 2-run shot to make it an 11-4 ball game. Trey Turner with another RBI single in the bottom of the 8th to make it 12-4. And then they brought in Hoffman, who they brought up for Max Lazar, and the dude could not throw strikes. He allows 3 runs to score off of Mitch Garver, an RBI ground out, and then a wild pitch. And then the final score finished at 12-7. So offensively, very fun game. Ranger Suarez was very good. The bullpen-wise, no. Kerkering was good yesterday. I don't know why they used Kerkering. So, who knows? Who knows? Offensively, Trey Turner, fantastic last night. He was 4 for 6 with 5 RBIs. Holy shit. Kyle Schwarber was 2 for 5 with a walk and an RBI. Bryce Harper was 3 for 6 with 2 home runs, 3 RBIs there. JT Realmuto was 3 for 5 with a home run as well. Alec Bohm 1 for 5. Marsh 2 for 5. Castellanos 2 for 4. Kepler 2 for 5 with an RBI. Stott 2 for 5 with an RBI. Phillies were 6 for 14 with runners in scoring position. It was just an overall fantastic offensive performance from yesterday's team, from yesterday's ball game. And I think with the win yesterday, that put them back at 5.5 games above the Mets because the Mets didn't play last night. And the Mets are currently beating the Nationals. I think they're just completely torching them. Unless the game is already over. Yeah, I think the game's already over, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think they torched them. Yeah, they torched them 8-1. So after today's win, that would still be 5.5 games, if I'm not mistaken. So if we go to today's game, obviously, offensively, not 21 hits. 7 hits. So definitely came back down to earth right there. But they were more opportunistic, I would say, in today's game. Kyle Schwarber, he had the solo shot in the bottom of the 1st inning to give you that 1-0 lead. So good there on Kyle. Then eventually the Mariners would tie it after an Arozarena double, which tied the ball game up there. Christopher Sanchez escaped the rest of that jam, limiting the damage. Phillies did respond though. Bryson Stott with a walk, Trey Turner with a single, which moved Stott over to third base. Then Trey Turner stole second. Stott also stole second during the Trey Turner at bat. So you had second and third for Kyle Schwarber. He got very unlucky. They were playing the infield in. He hit the ball hard as shit, but it was right at Justin Crawford for the ground out. But then Bryce Harper just put bat on ball, hit it to deep center field, gets a sac fly, gives the Phillies the lead at 2-1. Then JT Realmuto gets the RBI single that brings home Trey Turner, which makes it a 3-1 ball game. So situational hitting right there, very good from Harper and JT. JT did steal second base, Bohm did walk, but then Marsh grounded out to end the inning. 1-2-3 inning for Christopher Sanchez in the top of the 4th. Then, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th, Bryson Stott crushes a solo shot to make it 4-1. Another little bit of a jam right there for Christopher Sanchez in the top of the 5th. Leadoff single for Crawford. A 2-out double by Raleigh, which makes it second and third, but then he gets Rodriguez on the first pitch to ground out to end the inning. So another jam escape there by Sanchez. Top of the 6th, Suarez with a leadoff double, but then Sanchez retired the next guys 1-2-3. Bottom of 6, Phillies don't do anything. Then you go to that top of the 7th inning. Manages to strike out J.P. Crawford, but then he walks more on 5 pitches. That's when Rob Thompson elects to go back to the bullpen. This is the situation with Kerkering. Arozarena, 4-pitch walk. Raleigh, 4-pitch walk. Then you got bases loaded. Julio breaks his bat, chops it right back to, well, not right back to him, it was a little bit to the left. of a Ryan Kirkring, so he just picked it up, scooped it over the first base for the second out of the inning, but the run does score. Becomes a 4-2 ball game, but then on the 2-0 count to Eugenio Suarez, lines it right past Alec Boehm down the third base line, had no chance of getting it, and the ball game is tied up at 4. Kirkring was just that bad. In that entirety of that inning, Kirkring only threw 1 strike, or 2 strikes actually. Though were both to Julio 3 strikes. Both to Julio Rodriguez and then the one to Eugenio Suarez, because they do count balls in play as strikes on the strike sheet. So in totality, he only threw 3 strikes. So that was a very bad performance there from Kirkering, to say the least. But then Matt Strom got Naylor to fly out to end the inning, keeping it at 4-4. Phillies go down 1-2-3 in the 7th. David Robertson gets the 1-2-3 in the top of the 8th with 2 strikeouts. Then you go to that bottom of the 8th, Harper with the single the other way, then JT Realmuto absolutely murdering the 2-run shot to give you the 6-4 lead, and then you get Duran in the 9th inning to shut things down 1-2-3, like he normally does, like a Johan Duran does. Very fun stuff. Offensively today, like I said, it's not 21 hits. Trey Turner went 1 for 4. Kyle Schwarber 1 for 4 with a solo shot. Bryce Harper 1 for 3 with an RBI and a sac fly. JT Realmuto 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs in today's game with the 2-run shot and the RBI single. Alec Boehm, he went 1 for 2 with 2 walks, so he's definitely been good at the plate since returning. Brandon Marsh, not the best day at the plate. He went 0 for 4. Nick Castellanos 0 for 4. Harrison Bader 0 for 4. And then Bryson Stott 1 for 2 with a home run and a walk in today's game. Phillies went 2 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Besides Kirkering, the rest of the bullpen was very good, and Christopher Sanchez was very good as well. Very, very, very good. So that's really good to see there from Christopher Sanchez. And if we look at the standings after today's ball game, Phillies are still 5.5 games up on the New York Mets. They're 73 and 53, 20 games above 500. And the Mets, they're 67 and 58. They are 9 games above 500. Yes, 9 games above 500. So the Mets looks like they're starting to get a little bit hot here. They won those last 2 games against the Mariners, and right now they're playing the Washington Nationals, which, knowing them, they'll probably find a way to sweep that series. But who knows? It's also the Mets to maybe find a way to lose that series. So really can't guarantee shit, but it looks like the Mets offense is very hot right now, just like the Phillies is. So we'll just see where that takes them. What's the Mets schedule looking like after Washington? They play Atlanta after that, then the Phillies. So the Mets' schedule for the next 2 series are pretty easy. Well, still, they also just get swept by Atlanta not that long ago? The Mets. No, they lost 2 of 3 to the Atlanta Braves, so you really can't guarantee shit actually. Then after that is Miami for 4 games. They got Detroit, Cincinnati. Their schedule definitely does get harder because they will be facing a lot of teams above 500 starting in September. Detroit, Cincinnati, Philadelphia, Texas, San Diego, the Cubs, and all that stuff. So they do have a long stretch of teams playing teams that are above 500. So we'll just see where that goes. Right now, the Phillies do control their own destiny, but it is going to make those big series against the Mets very more important, especially that end of August series in Citi Field, and then you won't see them again until the early midway through September in Philadelphia for a 4-game series. So we'll see where that takes them. But this team definitely takes you on a fucking emotional roller coaster. Holy shit. And it's just emotional roller coaster. As down as I was during the weekend, especially, combine that with the Zach Wheeler injury. It's crazy. Definitely is crazy. Fucking the JT Realmuto home run didn't make me feel some things. I'm being honest. JT Realmuto's home run did make me feel some things. I'm gonna be very honest with you. Seeing JT Realmuto swing the bat like he has been doing, it makes me feel a lot of things down under, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. Oh man, crazy stuff, huh? Is there any updates as well from today's game? Anything from Rob Thompson or anything like that? I don't think there are. I don't think so. No, no, no. Don't think there is. Just good stuff. Just good stuff overall. from the Phillies the past 2 games in this series against, a good team in the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners have been slumping a little bit lately, but they're still a good team in the top of the AL West. So, where are the Mariners actually at? They're 2 games behind the Astros now. They were in first place for a little bit after the trade deadline, but it looks like they've definitely been slumping a little bit. They lost those last 2 games to the Mets, and now they've lost 2 to the Phillies, so that's 4 in a row for them. They're only 9 games above 500, so that's weird. Definitely weird. It's crazy to think that the Phillies are 20 games above 500, and we have so many frustrations with this team. It's just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. And then just in terms of where they are with the rest of baseball, they're the 4th best team in baseball record-wise. And in terms of the National League, they do have the second. They right now in terms of the standings, they do have the second bye week in the National League behind the Brewers. The Dodgers and the Cubs right now are the teams looking outside. Because the Dodgers, they just swept the Padres, and then go figure they lose the first game to the Rockies in walk-off fashion. That is so fucking Dodgers. They step up for the fucking Padres series, and the Padres have been so hot to where they drop the fucking ball against the Dodgers. And now the Dodgers lose to the fucking Rockies. That is fucking insane. And I think the Padres are playing San Francisco and they lost yesterday, so maybe the Padres are going through a major slump right now. Who knows? Who knows? But crazy, man. It's crazy. We do have a voicemail here on the Anytime hotline. It's from Zach. We will get to that in a couple of seconds right here. It's funny too because I was having a back and forth with Brodes before the game was over, and he was like, I don't know, I may save my recap for tomorrow just because it's an afternoon game, but then he texts me like 2 seconds later, wait, I might do it tonight because I'm scared of the rain tomorrow. And he was like, I'm like, fucking make up your mind, buddy. And then he was like, I'm doing it because I don't want to run the risk with the rain. I'm like, oh, God. Make up your fucking mind. Oh, God. We were both at fucking Raw last night. So our schedules are like kind of crazy. Crazy. Raw was fun, though. I'll talk about that after actually we get to Zach's voicemail. Get to Zach's voicemail first, and we'll react to that, get to some of you guys in the chat. Then we'll talk about Raw from last night.
Well, this is the most bipolar, good baseball team. I mean, damn good baseball team. They're at their best. They're unstoppable. And I'm going to be a prisoner of the moment, man. I'm back on board. Ignore everything I said the last few days about that Washington series, which was atrocious. I'm all in. I'm ready to get hurt again. Realmuto is the best catcher in baseball. That's the thing. Cal Raleigh, not only is he not the MVP, I mean, Kyle Schwarber, obviously, while different leagues, whatever, I'm getting confused. But JT is the best catcher in baseball. This guy is unbelievable. That swing, first pitch fastball, destroyed, man. That was a beautiful sight. I mean, he did have Orion Kerkering, a little nasty there, man. No control, nothing. Blows up Christopher Sanchez's outing. No decision. Just tough. Do love seeing Kyle just get the game started like that. This guy is unreal. Give him a $1 billion contract. I don't care. He deserves more than Ohtani. I mean, come on. I'm just saying shit at this point. And Johan Duran, our lights
I mean, to be fair, Schwarber should win MVP over Ohtani. Let's be real here.
out closer, this guy. I'm like, dude, the splitter is filthy. And then he says, you know what, Riley? I'm just throwing you 3 fastballs in the same location, and you ain't going to hit it because you're a bum. So I love it. I'm all in, baby. Don't stop me. Nobody hold me back. I want this. When I'm pissed off in a week or 2 when they have a shitty series, it is what it is.
Yep.
I made this decision. Go Phils. Peace.
I mean, that's basically the summary of the entire season at this point. They are the most frustrating 20 games above 500 team that I've ever watched in my goddamn life. When they're at their best, they're very good. When they're at their worst, holy shit, it's hard to watch. It really just is. But somehow this team is 20 games above 500. Like, it's no denying they're a good team. It's just that we think the flaws outweigh what they're good at. But like I said, when they're at their best, they're very fun to watch, like you saw the past 2 nights with this offense. Crazy. Crazy. Not from what we saw with Kirkering. Not from what we saw with Kirkering, though. During that call, actually, I found a very funny tweet that was just like, Jesus, even though it's a joke. But I guess somebody was at the game and they were looking at the bullpen when they were all stretching out at that point at some point during the game, and it's from the God Monster on Twitter. It's it says that it appears they have changed Jordan Romano to the wall, so he can't find himself on the mound tonight. And I guess Jordan, he's doing like some type of rope exercise, that's something that's attached to the wall. I guess on the GIF, it just makes it look like he's chained up to the wall so he can't come out. Oh, that's funny. That is very funny. Like, bro, that's hilarious. That is fucking hilarious. But yeah, very bipolar team. Exactly what Zach said. Exactly. As annoyed as I was during the weekend, like, of course they have these type of games here against the Mariners. Just of course. But yeah, yesterday, Monday Night Raw, really cool, really cool stuff. Um, we got there like, I would say like around 6:30, and no, not 6:30, like actually like quarter of 7. I think we got there. And as soon as we went like right to the store line just because we figured, we're here early, probably is the better time to go look at the merch stuff before because obviously when the show ends, everyone's gonna rush to the merch stand and everything like that. So we just figured that, well, we go to the merch stand, get our stuff now, and all that stuff. Uh, the merch line was long, obviously, and we waited in that line for a half hour. Still managed to get in our seats before like they do main event and all that stuff with the pre-show stuff and all that stuff. So they had some cool shirts. I actually got 2 shirts because I'm a sucker. They were actually, it's one was a Rhea Ripley shirt, one was a Cody shirt, and they were both Flyers themed. So I actually like the designs, so they were cool. So I got those 2 shirts. My dad got a Cody shirt that said Philly Nightmare on it, and then my dad bought my mom, a why did I say our mom? Don't mind me. Bought my mom the shirt of Alexa Bliss's doll, like a cartoonized doll of Alexa Bliss's doll on the shirt. So got that. Then go to our seats. We were in a suite because the Flyers offered tickets to the suite, so we cashed those in for rewards points for being season ticket holders. So in essence, we didn't have to pay for the tickets. The view was very good. It was very nice to see. You could see it on my Twitter. Um, so we waited. We saw some of the stuff from the pre-show. That was fun. Beginning of the show, obviously, Seth Rollins' faction comes out. That Jey Uso comes down. That Jey Uso, I know, I do have my complaints with Jey Uso, but he is very funny. So he basically told Seth, "I'm tired of hearing you talk," even though Seth didn't talk one bit. It was just Paul Heyman going over everything like he usually does, and then also bringing up a bunch of stuff about ECW since ECW originated in Philadelphia. Basically being in Philadelphia, I am God. Um, so that was funny. The interactions with Jey Uso and the crowd were very funny. Um, the main event was going to be, what was it, a fucking ECW style fight, Extreme Rules type of fight. Like the main event, obviously. I do feel like Raw is in a loop. Like it's kind of the same things every week. With Seth's faction coming out, main event has to do something revolving around Seth's faction, Punk, LA Knight, Jey Uso, Roman Reigns. It was basically in that same function tonight. It was more entertaining just with the match stipulation, I guess. The other matches in between, Io versus Raquel was very good. I very enjoyed watching that. Raquel does seem to be improving in the ring every single week after the not the criticism that Kevin Nash gave her, like the recommendation that Kevin Nash gave her on his podcast. She's been very much improved ever since. So it's really nice to see that improvement. You saw Rhea come out to save Io, which was fun. Then you saw Io's freak out when Rhea and the Kabuki Warriors were arguing backstage, and it looked like Io forgot the door was there, and she almost ran into the door in the hallway in the Xfinity Mobile Arena. That was very funny. So it does look like they're gonna be doing something in terms of both of those two, or those four together, whether it's a tag team match or something like that. Because Asuka's definitely turning heel at some point. They're planting the seats right there. Penta versus Xavier Woods. Penta's always fun to watch, but it's just like Penta deserves better competition than Xavier Woods. What else was there? It was the New Day against Mr. Iguana and Dragon Lee. That was entertaining. Then you saw the guy from the AAA champion come in to attack Dom and all that stuff. So that was entertaining from that point. Then Becky Lynch, what was it, versus Natalia? I mean, Becky Lynch is always good. She makes the match seem more bigger than it is, especially for the Intercontinental title. Like, she definitely is elevating that title to make it worthwhile. It's just I wish she had some better competition. They're still like teasing Bayley's character change with her basically hearing voices in her head and the previous character that she used to be. So basically Bayley's gonna be turning heel at some point, I would assume. So I'm not sure where they're gonna go with that route. Then you get obviously the Naomi news becomes, well, the rumors become true that she is pregnant. So, and it's funny that she did stay in character the entire time because she definitely looked like she was trying to hold back her crying. um, so that's funny. So I do wonder what they're gonna do with the women's world title because Steph had the guaranteed title shot at Paris. Now I don't know what they're gonna do with that. Does she still get her title shot, or are they just scrapping that right now just to figure out what they do? Because right now nothing's been confirmed for Paris with this whole situation. And who do they give the title shot to? Because do they just give it to Rhea? Do they just give? I don't know if they're gonna give it to Io. I don't know what they do. I don't know what they do. But the crowd interaction with Naomi was really fun, like the baby Uso stuff and thank you Jimmy and all that. That was very funny. We're adding another addition to the bloodline. That was very funny. And all the memes that came out after it, like, oh, Cody's reaction to another bloodline member. Oh God. So that was funny. But I still really wonder what they're going to do with the women's world title now. Bayley did have like some type of cryptic message after that saying thank you Jimmy. So is this Bayley heel turn gonna do something to where she's involved in the world title mix? Not entirely sure. Um, Personally, I think Steph does deserve the title shot just because she earned it. Um, do I think she should have the title on her? Biasly, I love Steph. I would love to see the belt on her, but I think they're probably gonna give it to Rhea or something like that, or maybe they do something with Bayley. Maybe they do something with Bayley. I'm not entirely sure. Um, then the main event, obviously, it was very entertaining. Uh, Jey Uso just throwing all the chairs into the ring with the crowd eating every time he threw it. It was just like, that was funny. Just every chair, yeet, every yeet, yeet. Just every chair under the ring, yeet it into the ring. Um, then obviously you get LA Knight interfering first. Then Seth comes out to attack LA Knight. Then Punk comes out to attack Seth. They run into the back. They're gone. And then as Braun's doing his standard outside the ring, gonna charge up to spear Jey Uso, in comes Roman. And Roman doesn't come out through the main entrance. He comes out from the side and then spears Braun Breaker in the middle of his charge up and allows Jey to win the match as the frog splashes Braun through the table. So the Slim Jim table, obviously, that was also very funny that Naomi put the belt on the Slim Jim advertisements. Everyone just wanted to make those connections. Oh, Slim Jim, Jimmy Uso, Baby Jim, whatever. It's just funny. Um, so I do think there is a loop right now. They have been getting repetitive. Raw has 100% been the better product out of between Raw and SmackDown. SmackDown has not been good lately. It definitely hasn't. But we'll just see where they go and how they're leading up to Paris. It's because now they're going on the European tour because obviously Clash in Paris. So the next few shows are going to be overseas, and so we'll see where that goes. I'm really just intrigued what they're going to do with the world title for the women's right now, because obviously I think with Seth that fatal 4-way, Seth's going to retain. Obviously, Seth's going to have the world title until WrestleMania most likely. unless something shocking very happens. The one thing that I'm confused though is are Cody and Drew gonna fight a Clash? Because right now it seems like they have the Fatal 4-Way between the men's. They have Cena versus Logan Paul. They're most likely gonna have Roman versus Bronson Reed. I feel like that's gonna be one of the fights. And now they confirmed that Rusev versus uh, Sheamus. That was confirmed yesterday too. So they have 4 matches right now in the card, and most PLEs have like 5 or 6 matches, unless they do something to where they had 5, 6, or 7, to where they don't have that many more matches to add to the card. And what else did they add? Is Cody and Drew gonna fight? Because it kind of felt like Drew attacking Cody a couple of SmackDowns ago was kind of ready Cody off TV for a little bit because he has that Street Fighter movie that he's doing. So is he wrote off TV for a little bit, and then whenever they continue with this Drew thing, they continue with it? I don't know. I really don't know. I like how this is a Phillies recap that turned into a recap of Monday Night Raw and me talking about WWE. It's crazy. That's how everything goes. That's how long I go usually. That's just it's where the shit goes. um yeah, I don't know what they're doing with Cody and Drew right now. Because I guess you'll have to find out at SmackDown, but I don't know. Because I think I think people have said Cody is not scheduled for any of these SmackDowns upcoming. So that just makes me believe that Cody and Drew is not happening at Clash of Paris. So I'm assuming that means that Drew attack on Cody was writing Cody off TV for a little bit. That's what I would assume. Um, Phillies baseball will do that to you. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Um, so I don't think Cody Drew is happening. Maybe they do another SmackDown fight, or maybe they just do something with this women's world title because they just need something. I just don't know. I don't know. I really don't know what they do with this women's world title now, because Steph had the title shot against Naomi, and now that's basically scrapped. What do you do? What do they do? I don't know. I really don't know. I would like to see the belt go on Steph, but I can also understand why people would think it's too early for her to win the title. But because it just feels like right now Rhea's already tied up now with this thing with Io and the Kabuki Warriors, and even though granted Raw's women division is very stacked, does Bayley do get involved with this whole character shift that she's going through? We haven't seen Lyra in a little bit. Does Lyra get involved? I doubt that. I feel like she still gets involved with. Lyra can't go after Becky anymore because of the stipulation. So I really don't know what they do. Does Bayley go back after Becky to get the title for the Intercontinental title, and then you just do something with Steph, Io, and does Asuka get involved or something like that with the world title? With Rhea's, with all this stuff. What happens? What happens? What happens? There's so many questions that I have. So many questions. So it's something that's interesting. Raw is definitely the more intriguing product than SmackDown because there's really not much. It's crazy. It's crazy. But before I get too long into this, I do have to end the stream eventually. Um, as it looks like the stream. No, never mind. The stream quality went back up. Maybe on an off day, we'll talk about some wrestling. Maybe, maybe. I do have an idea link. Not entirely sure. Maybe we do eventually incorporate some wrestling talk in here, just to get some intriguing voice lines, some intriguing dialogue, just something different to spice things up. We do have an off day on Thursday because the Phillies don't play, obviously, so maybe we'll tie some things together. Maybe we'll talk about some things. Maybe we could talk about. Maybe I do add some wrestling content to this channel just to talk about other stuff. It'd be interesting. Maybe react to PLEs and all that stuff. Not sure. Not sure. We'll see. We'll see. But I'm gonna end it here. Well, I'm gonna end it here. So, thanks guys for tuning in tonight. Gotta wait for Brodes to do his thing, which most likely he's recording right now. So, thanks for. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Does me a great deal of service. Also use the code TTPSports. $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal. Don't pass it up. Good stuff. Phillies, let's try to get the sweep tomorrow afternoon. Lizardo was on the mound. I believe he's going up against Luis Castillo. Tomorrow's game is at, what, like 1 o'clock or something like that? Yep, 1:05. So let's try to get a sweep. Try to get a sweep.